Hey everyone, Graph Paper Architect here, and I have a fantastic exercise that I use all the time and it helps me stay on track with my designs. I hope it helps you as much as it's helped me, and I'll go ahead and share it right now. So this is a typical day, 24 hours. This is what we all get, right? Now, let's also say that you work a full-time job, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And just to keep the math easy for me, we're going to head and use whole hours. So we'll say that it takes you an hour to get dressed and ready to go to work and your commute, and an hour to get home, to change out your work clothes and decompress a little bit. Oh, that's a terrible 5. Let's go ahead and try that again, shall we? Take 2 on the 5. 5. All right, now, here's our day, right? So we have that many hours that have already been used up. However, we also want to make sure that we get a good night's sleep, because if we're exhausted, how in the heck we're going to ever design anything, right? So we'll put that down. So doing the math on that, we are looking at 11 o'clock bedtime. Okay, so we're going to bed at 11. Well, get out of the way. Let you see that. So that means what? We've got 5 hours, right? Monday through Friday, 5 hours. We're not going to get into the weekends, but for right now, we're just going to give you the tools to begin to see where we're going with this. So from here, we have 5 hours, right? So part of this exercise is making sure that we really begin to get a good grasp on what's going on and how we can best utilize our time and how much time we actually have. Now, there's a trap here that I want to make sure that you all understand and do not fall into this trap. Because as we begin to break down and examine really how much time we actually have and how we're going to be able to get to, let's say, the big G, game design, right? We'll even put that on the board right now. Big G. How we're going to get to that. Sometimes you can get a little depressed. You get to think, how in the hell am I ever going to pull this thing off? I only have this much time, or a little bit of time. But we'll get to that. Just be aware, stay out of that trap. The more you know about something, I think the more control you have over it. So we'll get here. Now, 5 hours a day, Monday through Friday. We're going to also need to put some other things in here because we have lives other than game design. Maybe we have wife, kids. That can be food, that can be friends. We'll get into that. Hobbies, chores, and we'll leave that for now. We'll come back to that. That's plenty to take a look at. So, we're going to need to fill each one of these containers with the things that we need to do. Oh, that's right. Let's say pets. Or if you don't have a pet, maybe you have a plant. Hopefully you at least have a plant. I have plants. And I have a dog. You probably could hear him. So, here are some of the things typically that we will need to fit into these different containers and how much time they're going to take. All right, and because we're trying to get to the big G, so that we have time for that. So, and I recommend that you do draw this out. I really do. I am a kinesthetic and a visual, so drawing things out, actually putting it on paper or this, makes a huge difference to me. Really helps me grasp what's going on. Of course, everyone's going to have something different, and everybody's going to have a completely different set of these lists. Maybe you have less, maybe you have more, but this is where we're going with this. Some typical stuff. And I recommend that you do whatever it is that you do, draw it out Even if it's not your style, draw it out at least once so that you can really see it, really visualize it. Now you're going to fit all this kind of stuff in these 5 hours. Cooking takes time, right? So here we've got that. Here's some chores. We're going to need to fit those in, of course. Let's say that you're going to take some time with your wife and your kids. So maybe you've got wife and kids in here. Maybe they're over here. Maybe they're all the way throughout. This is where you're going to go when you're going to grab some of these and start slotting them in. When you slot them in, realize that you have within here, you're going to break this out, okay, 60 minutes. And then from there, zoom in again, okay? You go here, and this is 0, and then you have 15, then you have 30, then you have 45, then you have the end of the hour. Let's do that. See, you're going to start being able to break this down into 15-minute intervals. But for now, we're going to stay up here in 1-hour chunks. Makes it easy. We want to get to the big G. How is that going to happen? Well, here's a part of the tool. Stacking. Stack. All right. How do you stack what it is that you need to do? You're going to take these and you'll start putting more than one in one block. So you've got, let's say, wife, kids, pet, all stacked into one block. Because you can do them all at the same time. You're going to spend time with your family, spend time with the whole family all at once, not having to separate it out. And spend time with the pet at the same time. Now you've done 3 of these. You could knock them off the list. You've done those 3 things. You've spent that time. Another good way to stack is that if you're going to have your exercise, here's another one, very important in my opinion, is that you take your exercise and you stack it in with hobbies or other activities. So you add these together. Well, let's make a better plus symbol. Yeah, we're going to do this. All right. So hobbies and exercise, how do you put those together? Well, let's say that you go from 9 to 10, kids are in bed, you're going to hang out with your wife, or from 10 to 11, you're decompressing, you're going to watch some TV. TV can easily be stacked with exercise. You can be looking at the television while you're doing your reps. Easy peasy one. I love that one for stacking. So another thing that you can do when you want to stack, and you're going to be stacking time, or when you slot things into times that it can be, is your diet, which I believe you should definitely be cooking as much as you possibly can. And that is a pressure cooker. So I recommend you get a crock pot, get a pressure cooker, get that thing so that it's on a timer. Make up your meals, get them on there so that it's already done by the time you get home. So you now have stacked in here dinner with your commute even, because it's cooking while you're on your way home. So you don't even have to be there for sometimes for these things that you can stack to fire off. So you've got that. So there's stacking. That's how you can maximize that time. Another good thing for stacking is that if you're on social media at all and you're using that as part of your business, maybe you've got a small business like we have Tactical Fantasy Games. It's a small business, so we're doing most of it all of ourselves, and you need to get all your socials in, your social media time. When I'm on Graph Paper Architect, it's, I will hammer that in. I'll have 3 or 4 windows open at once. It's like I'm checking this, reading this, do this post, do that post, get it done, hammer it out, and then be done with it. So stacking, that's a good one. What's another way that we can efficiently maximize our time? All right, here's a big one for you. Timer. That one right there. A timer is you need a timer. Trust me. Time things. All right. Use a timer so that you know how much time you're spending on, let's say, social media. You need to keep your social media presence up. You want people to know about your game, know about your company, whatever's going on. Set a timer. Social media will eat your time. You will be gone. You will be on Twitter one moment, you're looking at Moodang and you're going, oh, this is going to be a great post, and suddenly your wife is saying, hey, 15 minutes to bedtime or whatever. And you're going, oh, wow. Yeah, trust me, it will happen. Set timers for all of that. It also helps you have your efficiency when you're setting your timers for your work, your hobbies, whatever it is, and work meaning the big G, right? So you say, I'm going to work for an hour on that, but you have your kids, your wife, your other things you do, set a timer. Get it done in that time. Setting a timer will also help pressurize you because once you know it's like, I only have an hour, I need to do this. You will dial in and you can focus. I do it at least, but you can focus quite a bit more when you know you have a specific amount of time in order to try to accomplish a task. And don't beat yourself up if you don't accomplish it in the time. And don't beat yourself up if you run a little late or a little early, whatever it is. Try to stay on time as much as you can. But a timer is huge because schedules are where you're going to be able to get everything done. It's got to be scheduled. And that's another piece. So we schedule. Imagine that says schedule. So you're scheduling this specific time. When you go into your space in order to do that particular piece of your design, shut the door, turn off all of the devices, make sure that everyone understands this is time for design. I need to be left alone. If you're not on fire, don't knock on the door. And it's just that simple. You can make that work because you will also schedule time with the people or the animals, whatever else is important in your life. If you schedule the time for them and you make sure that you hit those marks when you need to hit your marks, things can go a little bit smoother. So these are very important master keys in order to get your design done. And again, make sure that you stay out of, oh, now I only have 5 hours. Now I only have 3 hours. Now I only have 1 hour. How am I ever going to do this? And maybe you only have normal days on Saturdays and Sundays. So you have, let's say, 10 hours. So then you only have 20 hours for a weekend. 20 hours in the weekend. Do the same thing. Break it out. Say, oh, we're going to have these activities are going to be within these hours. And that is the exercise that will help you drive forward, stay on task, and stay on time. If you find this video of any value, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone that's important to you. Until next time, friends, good journey.